Welcome everyone to Ask Wardee. We are tackling a topic today. I should hold the right things. Is it better to take a multivitamin or individual vitamin mineral supplements? That is, if you need supplementation at all. I'm going to cover all those topics today on Ask Wardee. First, let me welcome you. This is Ask Wardee, the weekly show where I answer your questions about traditional cooking and related topics. So I'm so glad you're here. All the notes, everything we're discussing today is at askwardee.tv. Just look for episode 92 and you will see everything that I'm mentioning today and all the links. So here's the deal. You're doing everything right. You're eating well, getting plenty of sleep, exercising. You're saying no to excess activities. You're not super stressed, and you still find out that you have some deficiency or you just don't feel 100%. So what do? Is it better to take a multivitamin, or should you be approaching it where you find out what your specific deficiencies are and you take individual vitamins, mineral, or superfood supplements? It's a great question. It came from Danielle. So I so appreciate that. Actually, Danielle and her friend were chatting together and then submitted the question. And so we're going to answer it today. I do want to start way back before that question though, because before you even tackle whether or not you need supplementation, you want to take a good hard look at your life and abide by this very, very important principle, which is we are what we eat. Of course, don't take that too literally. What I mean is that if we eat well, our health improves, and if we eat poorly, then our health suffers. And the fact of the matter is that you cannot out-supplement a poor diet. And the other things that I've mentioned previously are very important too. Proper rest, exercise if you're well enough to do that, not being overstressed, saying no to multiple activities so you have plenty of downtime in your life, time to rest and recharge. So all of those things are very, very important for overall health and cannot be overlooked. Another thing I want you all to know, which you probably do, is that whole foods are way better than supplements. The reason being that whole foods contain all kinds of stuff that work together with this synergy. So a food that might be rich with vitamin C, if you get your vitamin C from that food, it's way better than consuming a tablet of vitamin C, because the food contains everything in this God-given package to help your body assimilate and use the vitamin C. Plus it has things that we haven't even identified that God has put in there for our nourishment. So it's our preference that we always get our as much nutrition and our basic nutrition covered by our diet. That's our ideal, if you will, and we try to do it as much as possible. And I think you probably all agree with that. Having said that, there is a time and a place for supplements, like if you've identified that you have nutritional deficiencies. If you're a woman, you might have had lifelong anemia. That's been my case. You might have, many people don't sleep as well at night or have cramps and pains. It could be related to a magnesium deficiency. So those are just two examples of deficiencies that just to keep in mind. So the preamble here is that food is the best way to meet our nutritional needs. Sometimes we do need to supplement. And I also want to point out that you're here, and this is Traditional Cooking School by Gnaufglins. We teach traditional cooking. The foods we eat are Gnaufglins. They are prepared specially and well for best nutrition and digestion. So we go beyond a whole food diet, but we're really taking care with the whole foods that we're preparing in our homes so they're as nutritious and digestible as possible. And I'd love to introduce you to fundamental techniques of traditional cooking. They're super easy, and if you're already cooking with whole foods, they don't take any more time. So from scratch cooks can just move right into this. If someone's on the standard American diet, lots of fast food drive-through and whatnot, there's no way I can take away the time that needs to be in the kitchen. But if you're cooking already, then traditional cooking doesn't take any more time, and you ensure that the foods you're eating, the whole foods, the organic foods, we say Gnaufglins, God's natural organic whole foods grown locally in season, you're ensuring that those are prepared for the best nutrition and digestion. So I'd love to have you come on board for our free traditional cooking video series. There's a link with this video just look below or go to tradcookschool.com/free-vids. Okay, so that was so important just to talk about the importance of food and when and where supplements fit. So now let's go on to the question that Danielle submitted, because many of us do reach the point where we find that we have vitamin or mineral deficiencies. And personally, I don't see anything wrong with choosing a good multivitamin, and this is one that I recommend, Seeking Health. You'll find a link with this video. So you can take a good multivitamin to cover all the bases. Our family does. However, if you have a severe deficiency, then a multivitamin is probably not going to have, of course there's exceptions, but this is the general rule, probably not going to have enough of the one that you need or the few that you need. And so instead of taking a lot more of the multivitamin to get as much as you need of the 1 or 2 nutrients and get too much of others that come with it, that's when we often turn to individual supplements like magnesium or iron or vitamin B12 or zinc, deficiencies that we've recognized that we need additional. Okay, so that's kind of a way to approach it. That's really the bottom line. It's hard for me to give a do this answer because it really depends. You yourself know what kind of deficiencies you're facing or what kind of deficiencies are in your family, or you yourself might be just generally healthy. So instead of me saying absolutely take a multivitamin or absolutely take individual supplements, it really comes down to your situation. I do have 2 possible scenarios that you might consider just to start with and then work up. So the first scenario is where you or someone in your family has severe deficiencies, so more extreme than a multivitamin would cover, and you don't feel well. So of course you want to take care of the basics. Eat well, rest, don't be overstressed, those kind of things. Take care of the basics, take a multivitamin to cover the bases, and then then use your additional supplementation, individual supplementation, to cover those deficiencies that are deeper and need to be addressed specifically. So that's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is where you feel generally well, really, but maybe not as well as you could, or you have reason to suspect you just need a little bit extra support. So then you'd simply start with the things we've been talking about: eating well, getting plenty of rest, your exercise, not living under a lot of stress, perhaps, and all of these perhaps addressing hormone issues if they rise to the surface. But you got to cover the bases with the way you live your life in this situation. You could take a multivitamin to give you like a well-rounded, just kind of like an insurance policy, I guess, cover the bases, and then see how you feel. Work with your doctor, your healthcare practitioner, to uncover possible deficiencies and address those. So that's how I approach it. The basics is so important. A good diet. Of course, check out our free traditional cooking video series to learn the fundamentals of traditional cooking. That's at tradcookschool.com/free-vids. Get plenty of rest, exercise, don't live under stress, pure water, non-toxic environment. We've covered a lot of these things in past Ask Wardees and in our classes. So refer to all those, but cover your bases. The next step would be a multivitamin if you feel like it could just help you feel a little better. If you have severe deficiencies, then you're going to the individuals, because your multi is just not going to cover it. It's not going to give you enough iron or enough magnesium or enough of whatever you feel you need the extra. Okay, so we've come to the end. This one was short and sweet, wasn't it? I appreciate the question, Danielle. Hope this was helpful. To everyone else, if you've got any questions at all, it's askwardee.tv. You can also go there to find out how to submit your question for a future Ask Wardee. I love your questions, and the queue is fairly open right now. We do have a bunch of questions in the queue, but we could always use more, so please feel free to submit those. And thanks again, everyone, supporting me last week when I didn't feel well. It just really blessed me and has helped me to come back today feeling great. I do feel really great this week. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.